All right, guys, we're recording. Welcome to our Thursday night team Zoom. I know we have more people than just my team on here, so thank you guys for hopping on. This is like really my first training that I've done since I gave birth to my son, and so I'm like just super excited to get back into it. Training is one of my favorite things to do, and this is something that Jade says all the time, and it rings super true for me, and it is that the best way to be a leader is to just be a really stinking good distributor and turn around and teach people how to do exactly what you do. So that's what I'm going to try to do here tonight, guys. There is a billion ways to work this business, but I'm going to show you guys what I've learned, what I know to be the most basic business building activities that you can do, which is basically just talking to people. Like, that's it, right? Like, there's only really one thing that actually makes us money in this business, and that is talking to people. Talking to a lot of people, talking to new people, talking to people who we've been talking to already. I went in this business from making $46 my first month to making over $8,000 in 1 month this year. And I will be celebrating my 4-year anniversary in just 9 days. So I don't know everything. I'm a double diamond. I'm still in the mix with you guys, pushing for my next promotion, dreaming of ambassador diamond. But this is what I've found to be true about building your business on social media. Specifically, obviously you can do a party, you can do an event, but this is specifically for what I have found to be the most important things that you can do on social media. We are going to be doing, I'm going to name drop in this Zoom, so hopefully we'll get more people on next week. Me and my girl, Allie Frazier, are going to be doing a content creation Zoom next Thursday at the same time. It's going to be fire. So I'm not going to be talking about posting or stories or like live videos or anything like that, because we're going to cover all of that next week, except for I'll just talk about it in the premises of like being consistent and interacting and those kinds of things. So if you're like, what about posting? Don't worry, you guys, we're going to cover that and so much more next week. So here we go. First things first. I would like you, if you're on here, if this business is a blessing in your life, I would like you to drop a 1 in the chat. If this business has just like blessed your life financially, emotionally, mentally, with friendships, like whatever that looks like, okay? I literally already got 6, 7, 18, 19 ones, okay? And there's more coming. So what that says to me is that if you are not out in the world reaching out to people to share this opportunity with them, you are being selfish. You're being selfish. If this business is a blessing to you, why would you keep that from other people? And so we're going to talk about messaging, you guys. And I really want to talk about this because I have so many people, especially new people, but even veterans, come to me and say, how do I reach out to people without feeling spammy? Or I feel like I'm so annoying when I'm reaching out to people. You guys, this business is a blessing. As long as you are writing the message that you are sending from your heart, it is genuine, it is something that you would actually say to somebody face to face, you're not being annoying and you're not being spammy, regardless of how many people you send that same message to. Biggie Smalls, settle down. He's like throwing a bone around. It's very distracting. Stop. Will you, somebody take him outside or something? Anyways, I personally have been messaging for distributors. Okay, so I'm not messaging first about the products. There was a point that I hit this summer where I was sending out messages for like to be a customer, and it did start to feel not genuine to me. It did start to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm just hopping in this person's inbox and asking them to buy something. There's a lot of leaders who will always preach to message for customers, and that's fine. For me, it just feels a lot more authentic to go to somebody and offer them the opportunity first. Saying something super personal. Hey, I don't know if you have any idea what I do. I don't know if you have any interest in making extra money, but I came across your profile. It was on my heart to reach out to you. I would really love to give you some more information about what I'm doing if making an extra income is something that you're interested in. However you would say that to somebody. You can throw in something super personal about how you're a mom too, or you're a college kid too, or you're a dog mom too. We're going to talk about adding people that have similar things in common with you. But you can add in something like that to make it seem even that much more personal. So the first message that I send is about the opportunity, pretty much across the board. If it's not about the opportunity, it's about host to post, and I do that more often on Facebook. So I'm literally gonna show you guys like exactly what I do when I message. So on Instagram, for example, I open up my Instagram, I go to my profile, I go to everyone who's following me, and I will search the letter A. And then I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom, which I have a lot of followers, you guys. So these are all people that pop up when I search the letter A. I'm gonna scroll all the way to the bottom. A is like a huge chunk of my followers, so hold up. And then I'm gonna start here. And I'm just gonna click them. Even if I'm not following them, and I'm gonna open up the message. So for this example, I can't see this girl's profile, right? Like she's following me, but I can't see her profile. So I'm not going to message her and say, hey, I came across your page and I think you'd be super good at what I do, because I can't see her page. But I will message her for host to post. Hey, thank you so much for following my journey. My team is doing a giveaway right now. I didn't know if you'd be interested, but all you have to do to enter is help me out by making a post and tagging me in it. Would you be willing to help me out? Before I had Casper, I was throwing in something in there about I'm about to have my first baby. It would really mean a lot to me if you would help me out by throwing up a post for me. So that could say something like, I'm going for a big promotion. This business is helping me pay for college. I'm going for a big promotion. This business helps me stay home with my kids. People in general like want to help, you know? So then here's another example. This is the next girl. So, I'm not following her. She's following me. But when I click on her profile, I can see her pictures. But I'm pretty sure, since this is the bottom, yeah. So the first time that she responded to one of my messages was July 18th of 2017. Okay. So now I can see the last time that I followed up was March, which is way too long, but I had a baby, so I'm trying to give myself a little grace. And I just said, hey, sorry if I caught you at a bad time before. Wanted to see if I could pick your brain about who you might know, what might be interested in what I have to offer. Would you be willing to help? That was like a follow-up message I was sending back then. So I would follow up with her about the products. So I want to go over my kind of flow real quick, you guys. So the first message, or the unsend resend, which is where you literally just go on Instagram and hold down and click unsend, and then you send a new message. If I'm doing a new message or an unsend resend, it's pretty much always about the opportunity or post to post. The next time I message them about the products. That can be like on Facebook, maybe they read it and didn't respond. On Instagram, maybe they read it and didn't respond. Maybe like this girl, like I had a full-blown conversation with her at one point. But now she just like is not getting back to me. I'm pretty sure I've unsent, resent this message like a few times, like a follow-up message. So I'm going to message her about the products, and just say something. I mean, just like a basic, hey, I wanted to reach out because we're dropping new products left and right, tons of stuff for hydration, nutrition, energy, weight loss, etc. Right now I'm saying even brand new pumpkin spice skinny coffee, because who doesn't love some pumpkin spice coffee? Then I said, can I tell you more about them and see if you'd be interested? So that's like something that I would send to her. So first, opportunity or host to post. Second is the products. Third, I go back to host to post. Just because I feel like that tier of offering people, like starting with the opportunity, defaulting to the products, and then defaulting to host to post, I feel like that's the most natural flow of conversation, right? Like if you come at somebody and you're offering the products, it's going to be pretty hard to get them to be interested in being a distributor if they're not interested in the products. Sometimes I start with host to post, especially on Facebook, and I'm going to show you guys how I message on Facebook right now. And then it is actually pretty easy to either follow up with the products or the opportunity when you message for host to post too. So I pretty much message the same way on Facebook, you guys. So I go to my profile, I go to see all friends, I type in the letter A, which obviously is going to be the top of my Facebook, and I'm just going to go in one by one. So this first girl, I know I've been talking to her for a little while. She's obviously a new friend. I just messaged her for the first time on July 1st. I messaged her about the opportunity. I told her a little bit about it. She asked if I was with It Works. And I said, yeah, I've been with them for 4 years. She said, I tried selling, but I just gave up after a while with my busy schedule. But I loved the products. And then I asked her if she'd be interested in doing it again. And she said, I might hit you up to order some products. Like, she wasn't interested in doing the business again. So I have then followed up. I followed up 1, 2, 3, 4. The last time I followed up was the end of August. So I would probably hit her with a host to post. I would probably hit her up with a host to post message. So you guys see how, like, okay, so then I go to the next person and I look at our conversation. And I go to the next person and I look at our conversation. Because I message this way, you guys, I'm sending new messages, I'm sending follow-up messages, and I'm sending unsend resends. So my goal is to get through everybody in the alphabet like every 2 months or so. That way I know every 60 days I have cycled through everybody on my Facebook and my Instagram. This means that people aren't going to fall through the cracks. I mean, 60 days is long, you know, like I just said, I hadn't followed up with that girl since March. I try not to do that. But does that make sense, you guys? Like, the way that I'm messaging, can you put like a heart or something in the chat so I know that you guys are getting this? I'm not actually going to put my messages in the chat because I really genuinely 100% believe that you writing your own messages is going to be the key to your success. If you need help writing a message, go to your upline, go to your direct upline, go to your diamond leader and say, is this message good? Can you help me write a message? This is the kind of message I'd like to send. Can you help me? But the more your messages sound like you, the better off you're going to be, whether it's an original message, a host to post message, a follow-up message, whatever. And so how often do you follow up? So we're going to talk about that when I go over following up. And of course, I've already taken like 15 minutes to just go over one part of this Zoom. So this is what happens when I start talking. So my other thing that I think a lot of people do when they're messaging is y'all get picky. You're like, I'm not going to message her. I'm not going to message her. No, you go through A to Z, honey. Every single name, you guys. And so I will tell you, like on Facebook, if I've messaged somebody 3 times, they've read it and not responded, I'm going to their profile, I'm adding a few of their friends, and I'm unfriending them. You only get 5,000 people on Facebook. I don't need people who aren't even going to respond to a, hey, quick question. You know, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, if somebody's not even willing to respond to a host to post message, like, we're done here. So that's how I'm kind of cycling through people on Facebook. On Instagram, I only unfollow if they straight up say like, no, thank you. Like, I'm not interested. Or obviously if they unfollow me. And we're going to talk about unfollowing when we talk about adding people. I know we've been having serious stuff with, like knowing how to unfollow now that the apps aren't working. So this is how I message every single day, you guys. I usually pick either Instagram or Facebook like on one given day, just because having both apps blowing up makes me a little crazy. But you can't, if you got the time, you should do both. When I was pushing super hard for promotions and didn't have a baby, I was doing both. I was messaging like 50 plus people on Facebook and 100 plus people on Instagram every single day. And that's how I was able to get through my 4,800 friends and 13,000 plus. I have 2 Instagrams. So that's 13,000. That's almost 20,000 people on Instagram. Like, hello. It's a lot of people to get through in just 2 months. So don't be picky. Unsend, resend. Ask about the opportunity, ask about the products, ask about host to post, and then that 4th time, like, you make the decision. Do you want to follow up with them about the opportunity again, or are you going to like take them off of your friends list and like, you know, make room for more people? So that's messaging, you guys, and that's every single day, okay? But I do want to preface this. I do not message every single day. I have a newborn, okay? Sometimes the messaging does not get done. Messaging is very, very, very important, and it is only because I spent the first 3.5 years of my business messaging pretty much every single day that I feel comfortable taking those times when it's like, snap, I didn't get my messages done today. But if you are not messaging at least like every week, like set a goal every week. I want to message 500 people this week. I want to message 1,000 people this week. That way you can have like Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, you're sitting down and you're cranking out 200 messages. So then Tuesdays and Thursdays, if those are your busy days at school, or if those are the days your kids aren't at school, or if you don't want to message on Sundays, you can do that. But don't not message for 2 weeks and then be like, I don't know why my business isn't working for me. Like you must like be sending out new messages. I will say regularly. I won't say daily. I will say regularly in order to continue reaching out to these people. And just remember, it's a blessing. You guys, when you are reaching out about the opportunity, when you are reaching out about the products, even host to post, it's a blessing. Most teams, I know we've done cash giveaways. We've done gift card giveaways. I sent $50 cash to a girl last month and she was like so stinking grateful for that cash. So just remember that. Okay, now we're going to move to interacting. And this is just going to be a little blip because honestly, interacting has a lot to do with like trying to beat the algorithm, right? The more you comment on people's posts and respond to their stories, the more they're going to see your posts and stories. If you are actively messaging regularly, that's how you beat the algorithm. And that's what Jade has always said. You don't necessarily need to be working the algorithm if you're actively reaching out to hundreds and thousands of people every single week, because they're going to go look at your profile if you message them, right? But I will say that I never miss a chance to build a relationship with somebody. And what I mean by that is if somebody pops up in my news feed or on stories that I know I've been talking to already, I never miss an opportunity to comment on their picture, hop in their inbox, respond to their story, okay? We have a girl who just very, very recently joined our team. She's a single mom. She posted something on Facebook about having a hard time. I commented. It was very genuine. I was like, hey, girl, I just had a baby too. Like, I want you to know my inbox is always open. And she messaged me and we talked just about like motherhood and life and whatever. And then the next week, like, she was like, okay, I'm ready. And I'm not saying that I did that so that she would sign up, but I did that so that she knows that I'm a genuine person and I am really following her because I really care about her and her family. That's what interacting does, okay? So commenting, responding to stories, or messaging someone to offer support or prayers for something that they're going through, especially before following up, okay? Not necessarily just I'm trying to message or I'm trying to comment or respond to every story and every post. No, but I am making a point to go through and interact and talk and build relationships with the girls that I'm already talking to. Okay, that was my little blip on interacting. I don't have like an interacting regimen. It's not like every single day I'm sitting down to interact with my followers, but I will do it when I see it in my newsfeed or when I see them in my stories. If you need to take 30 minutes to scroll through your newsfeed or scroll, you know what I mean, scroll through your stories so that you can do that, do that. If you need help with time management, I've got like 6 other Zooms on my YouTube about that. So that's a Zoom for another time. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about adding new people, you guys. If you opened a business, you would not expect to run a successful business with just your friends and family. You would not. If you opened a restaurant, your friends and family would come eat there on opening night, and the next day you would have nobody in your restaurant unless you are actively getting more and more and more people, okay? And there's billions of people in the world, and I'm going to be a little red and tell you right now that if you're not going to talk to them, I'm going to talk to them. So if you want to sign some people before I do, you should probably get out there and start adding people. You want to be the first person that they talk to, and you want to be the last person that they talk to. There is a lot of people who do it works. Not too many. We're not saturated, but chances are if you talk to somebody and then you don't follow up, another It Works girl is going to come in and she is going to follow up and they're going to end up signing up with her. Or you're going to go to reach out to somebody for the first time that you waited 6 months to reach out to, and she's already going to have a distributor lined up who's reached out to her first. So you want to reach out to people first and last. So the most basic way to add people on Instagram, I literally just go to my news feed. I find a picture that this was easy. I scroll down to a picture that has 133 likes. She's a cute female. She looks like she's in college probably. I click on the likes and I'm going to follow all of the girls that have a real picture of them and a real name on this picture. And then I'm going to do that on like 2 or 3 pictures or until Instagram stops me. And that's how I follow on Instagram. That's it. Like, there's no other special trick. I know some people follow from hashtags. I've never done that. I've only ever followed from followers of followers. Now I'm going to show you guys how to unfollow. I spent about 30 minutes earlier doing this, and I was able to unfollow like over 150 people. So that's pretty good since we're not able to use apps right now and we need to do it manually. So if you need to unfollow, which means that this following number is just getting way too high, you're going to go to your profile. You're going to click on that following number. There's this new nifty tool here where it says sort by, and you're going to do latest. And that means that the person who you followed most recently is going to end up at the top. So you have to wait for it to load. So this is the person that I followed most recently. This is a girl that I just followed off of that picture that I showed you guys. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit because I don't want to unfollow people who I just followed like today, right? So I'm going to scroll to like halfway. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to click on this girl. I'm going to click on her following. And if she was following me, my picture would pop up right here. But it didn't pop. It doesn't say that she's following me. So I'm going to go back to this main page, and I'm going to unfollow her. And I'm going to do the same thing. So then when I do find people who are following me back, okay, so that was really good timing. So for example, I clicked on this girl's profile, and I went to following. And look, there I am. So I know that she's following me. So now what I'm doing, and this is a great thing for interacting, I know that she's following me, so I'm going to go like a few of her pictures. I'm going to be like, girl, your lipstick is popping in her comments. You know, if she has a story, if she has an active Instagram story, I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to respond to it if I can. So she has this thing about like the Body Shop skincare. I'm going to say, oh my God, I need to try this. Send. And now I've interacted with her and she's following me back. So, and then we just keep going down the list. She's following me also 2 in a row. So once again, I'm going to like some of her pictures. Love those sunglasses. You guys, does this make sense? Once again, drop hearts if this is understood. So then when I find people who are not following me back, I'm unfollowing them. Wow, like all of these people are following me back. Winner, winner. That's awesome. I love it when I find a pocket of people who are following me back. That's great. And then you just do that. So set aside, you don't have to do this every day, okay? This is just, Kylie, I showed it twice, so I'm going to have you guys watch the replay if you missed it, because I'm going to move on to the next thing. I don't want this Zoom to be like a million billion hours long. But you can set aside, just like I said with messaging, you guys, maybe you message Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you take the time that you would spend messaging and you spend time unfollowing people and interacting that way instead. Like, you have to figure out what schedule is going to work for your life. But you don't have to unfollow like this every single day, just like when your followers count like gets too high. Okay, so that is Instagram. So now we're going to move to Facebook. So there's a few ways that I add people on Facebook. I think my favorite way, the most effective way that I've found to grow my audience on Facebook is through Facebook groups. So you need to get into some groups that you have things in common with the people in them. So there's like a billion mommy groups. Like, any moms on here know what I'm talking about. There's like 7,000 mommy groups on Facebook that you can be a part of. You can also, there's dog mom groups. There's buy, sell, trade groups for your area. I'm in like some county groups, like for my county where I live specifically. There is food groups, like if you're vegan or vegetarian or keto or whatever. So my best tips for groups, I'll show you guys, is you go to I'm going to do this step by step. You go to your Facebook and you click this right on the side here so that all of this stuff pops up. And then you go to groups. And then at the top, it's like different now. But if you go to the top, you go to your groups, and it's going to show all the groups that you're a part of. So I'm going to scroll until I just like find a group that maybe like I haven't even gone in for a while. So before I had baby, I added myself to a lot of makeup groups. There's tons of makeup groups. So this one is called Beauty on a Budget, and there's 800 members. So I click on this. Okay, so then you click on the name of the group. You scroll to members. There's like all these little face dots. You're gonna click see all. And then when you look at it, when you scroll down, it's gonna say members with things in common. This is where I add from, you guys, because not only are they gonna see that we're in the same group together, I also have 13 mutual friends, 16 mutual friends, 6 mutual friends. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to add these girls because not only do we have a group in common, we also have like friends in common. And I do that, you know, if you want to add, you know, 50 people on Facebook a day, maybe go through 3 or 4 groups and add like 10 people. You can also add from, this is something that Kayla Holtzclaw showed me. You can also add from events like in your area if you're trying to like find more people that are like in your local area. So once again, if you go to your Facebook back right, hit groups, you can go to events, and it's going to pop up a bunch of events that are like near you. So like what I would do is like Rent is playing at the local community college. And then you can go to like who is interested in this. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess it has to be a public event. Hold on. You have to find a public event to do it. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, they like changed the events thing. This is the thing about social media, you guys. As soon as you feel like you've got it figured out, you don't. You don't have it figured out. Okay, so, oh my goodness. Okay. Apparently Facebook doesn't want to work with me for this one. You can go to events, and then there's a place in the events where it's going to show people that you have friends in common with. So if you go to like who said going to the event, and you like swipe over, it's going to show you the people that you have like mutual friends with that are going to that event, and you can add from there. I also add from people that I'm unfriending, and I want to show you guys how to do, just like how to look for that, because that makes a big difference as well. So I'm just going to click on this girl. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to click on this girl. I'm going to go to her profile. I'm going to click on her friends. And then in her friends list, there is this thing that says suggestions. This is where I'm going to add from. I'm not just going to go to her friends and just start adding everyone that starts with A. I'm going to go to her suggested friends because these are people who, once again, I have 8 mutual friends with, 6 mutual friends with, 7, 10, 4. You don't want to just go add people who you have nothing in common with. They're literally going to be like, who are you? Some of these people are probably still going to be like, who are you? But at least I have things in common with them. So if they go to my profile, they're going to see that we do have a few mutual friends. So that's how I'm adding people. Do not add from suggested friends just like on your news feed. You're going to get like every It Works girl under the sun, or maybe their Work for Unique, or maybe like Herbalife, or like, you know what I mean? You're going to get everyone in direct sales. So don't add from the suggested friends there. Okay, there's like so many other ways. Right, or you're going to end up adding people who I'm friends with, who I'm already messaging about the products, and then that not that that's like there's not enough people to go around, but it's not like I care, but then it creates a sticky situation, and you're going to find people who say, I already know about this, or I've already talked to Hope about this, or whatever. So that's how you add new people, guys. And if you're new, or if you feel, or even if you're not new, if you feel stuck, that's what I'm trying to say. If you feel stuck in your business, if you feel like you are not getting the results that you want in your business, you need to be adding new people. You need to be adding a crap load of new people, okay? Because that is how you're going to find more people to talk to. That is how you're going to get more eyes on your posts. I'm not going to lie, you guys. I have girls right now who are on my team, who are on this Zoom, You come to me, you don't know why your enrollments aren't where they're at, and I go look at your Facebook and you only have 2,100, 2,200 friends. You need to double that, and you're going to start getting the results that you want to see, okay? So make sure that you're adding people. So we've been over messaging, we've been over interacting, we've been over adding new people. Now we're going to talk about the follow-up, though. If you do all of these other things that I just showed you how to do, adding new people, messaging people, interacting with people, but you are not following up, you are missing it. You are missing it, okay? So you must follow up the next day, the next Friday, the next week, at the end of the month, and then I follow. So let's say I follow up with somebody the next day, the next Friday, the next week, the end of the month, and they don't respond to me. Then they go on like my bigger follow-up list that I follow up with once or twice a month, or when we have new products drop or new promos announced, okay? So, and that is depending, right? So sometimes I end up following up with them 3 times a month because we drop pumpkin spice coffee, and then I know they're going to drop new stuff at green carpet, and I know I'm going to follow up in between. But I want you guys to really, this is what I want you to do. If you signed up after the first time someone talked to you, so if you did not sign up the first time that somebody talked to you about this business, drop a 2. If you had to be followed up with to join this business, I want you to drop a 2 in the chat. Okay. I don't think there's like a single person on here. I mean, sometimes there is. Sometimes there's that magical person who's like, no, I just talked to her one time and I signed up. But literally, you guys, 7 to 10 follow-ups is what I expect from people. So once again, I've got new people and even veterans who are like, I've been working my business super consistently for the past month and I'm just not seeing the results that I want. And like, I don't know why. Okay. If you've only been super actively working your business consistently for a month, then you've only followed up maybe 4 or 5 times. Maybe 4 or 5 times. You need to hit that 7 to 10 sweet spot before people really start enrolling. And let me tell you guys, there are people that I have followed up with 47 times and then they join my team. Okay. So you have to think about it this way. You must keep following up. This is your moneymaker. Every single week, you're getting more people on your follow-up list, and then you're following up with all of them. So if you keep this pattern, every single week, you are following up. Every single month, you are following up with more and more and more people. I'm coming into 4 years in this business. My follow-up list of my once or twice a month is almost 1,500 people that I'm following up with on a monthly basis. Do those people respond to me? No, you guys. Not all of them. Some of them do, some of them don't. Some of them tell me no thank you, some of them block me. Like, it happens. But my base for my follow-ups is like 1,000 people. So think about that, you guys. And if you don't have a planner or you're not using Connect, or how about both, you need to do something to stay organized with the people that you're talking to. I know you think, oh, I'll just go back through my messenger on Facebook. No, you need to write down their names in your planner, and at the end of the week, go back down your planner. You need to be adding their name to Connect, or you need to be getting their phone number and saving them with PLC or PDT on the end. That way you can mass text people when we drop pumpkin spice keto coffee. There's 1,000 YouTube videos about how to use Connect, by the way. I've been using Connect for 3 months now, and if you have kids, even if you don't have kids, but if you have kids and you're not using Connect, you are doing yourself a disservice. It is so much easier to plug in my message, pick the group of people that I want to message, and then I can sit there and it pops up, I send. It pops up, I send. It pops up, I send. Then if Casper cries, I just put my phone down and Connect will stay open with where I left off in my follow-ups. Casper's freaking out. I got to feed him, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I can come back to it. Send, pops up, send, pops up, send. It's literally a godsend. You need to be using Connect. This is another thing people don't do a lot. If you have somebody pinned down as a potential customer, try following up with them about the business. If you've got somebody that you've only been talking to about the business, follow up with them about the pumpkin spice coffee or about the products. I always change up when pretty much every other month, I'm saying to my PLCs, I'm saying hey, I don't know if you've thought about making money with me, but my team's doing this and that. Or I'll go to my people who, or, you know, want to be distributors, and I'll say, hey, you know, I know we've been talking about the business, but maybe you just want to try the products first, and then you'll feel more confident about your decision to sell them. But the important part of all of this, you guys, is you have to keep going. And like, I'm going to rant here just a little bit because it's been a minute since I ranted, but also because I just feel like this is so stinking important. Consistency. Consistency is the key here, you guys. You can be doing everything, messaging, adding, interacting, following up, posting bomb, okay? Posting every single day in your stories, going live, all this stuff. If you do that for 1 week and then you stop, you will see nothing. None of that work that you just did will you ever be paid for. However, as somebody who is literally coming up on 4 stinking years in the business, I am still getting paid for what I did in October of 2015 because I am still working, because I am still being consistent. I signed up a distributor at the end of October 2015. She's a diamond on my team. I make $900 a month just from signing that one distributor back in 2015. That's how our compensation plan works. So if you're sitting here and you're like, Hope, I'm being so consistent, but it's been like a week or like 20 days or like even like 60 days, keep stinking going, you guys. If your goals are important enough to you, then it should not matter how long it takes for you to get there. If you're a working mom right now and your goal is to come home to your babies, but I told you, okay, well, you're going to have to work super hard for the next year, but then you can come home to your babies. But if you don't work super hard for the next year, you're never going to come home with them. You're going to work super hard for the next year if it's really that important to you. And I mean that genuinely. So I also wanted to talk about like having a bad day, because I think that a lot of people hear me say like, you need to work your business every single day, and they think like I'm some superhuman who like isn't exhausted from having a newborn or doesn't deal with anxiety. Over the last 4 years of this business, you guys, I have moved coming up on 4 times at the end of this month. I finished college. I got married. I got pregnant. I had a miscarriage. I got pregnant again. I just had a baby. Bad days happen. Okay. Discouragement happens. The important thing on those bad days is just don't unplug. Just don't unplug from your team. Don't unplug from your business. This business has brought me through some of the hardest times of my life. It's not an extra stress to be surrounded by incredible, empowering women. It's not more stress to share some of my struggles on social media and help other women who are going through the same thing feel like they're not alone. Okay? So if you are feeling anxious, depressed, doubtful, discouraged, work your business. Work your business. Even if that doesn't look like messaging 100 people, even if that just looks like writing a vulnerable life post, or just reaching out to your upline and saying, hey, I'm really going through it right now. Today is a bad day. I did it to Kirsten yesterday. Literally last night, I was like, can I call you? It's been a weird day. And I was just tired from newborn life and coming up on 4 years and all these things that I'm going through, you guys. But it happens to everyone. So use your tools. You're in team pages for a reason. You're in team chats for a reason. You have these Zooms and your upline for a reason. If I'm your upline, you should know that my inbox is always open to you. Even if I'm not your upline, my inbox is open to you, to be honest. It might just take me a second to find it in my message requests, but you can still message me and tell me that you're having a bad day and I can offer you something. But the worst thing that you can do on those days is like hands up, like, I just can't do this. No. Hold on tighter, because this business is such a blessing and this community is such a blessing, okay? Also, I wanted to talk about this analogy, and this is actually what I'm going to leave you guys with. When I was an Emerald maintaining executive, this was in the first about a year mark. I was about a year into my business. I had gone Emerald, but I was maintaining executive, and I was in a team page with Jade, and Jade went live, as Jade will do, and was spitting some fire. And she said this analogy. And I will never, ever forget it. And it is how I remember to work. It is how I remember to work my business. If you want to boil a pot of water, and let's like compare this to like you want to go diamond, right? So you've got this pot of water, you've got this goal to go diamond. And so you're like fired the frick up. You're like, I'm going to make a full-time income. I'm going to make $2,000 a month. You're starting to go hard. Okay. You're turning the oven on high, the stovetop on high, right? So now, so it's starting to like, you know, it starts to like simmer like a little bit. There's like some small bubbles at the bottom. It's been like 2-3 minutes. So in business terms, maybe it's been like 2-3 months. You're being super consistent. You're like, dude, I'm not seeing any results. This water isn't boiling. So what do? You turn it off. You turn it off, or you turn it down. You turn it down to like a 2 or 1 or a 2. And then you're sitting there and you're like, God, I was getting so discouraged. I had to take a step back. How do you think you're going to get better results doing less? How do you think you're going to get closer to your goals slowing down? You're not. Your water is never going to boil. And if you're one of those people who's like, turn it on high, and the next week it's like on a 2, and then the next week it's on like a 7, and the next week it's on like a 1, like, and you're just flipping it like back and forth. Like sometimes your water is on high, sometimes it's not. And then you're like, I don't understand why my water hasn't boiled. Honey, you have to leave the stovetop on high until it boils. Until it boils. I can't tell you your water's going to boil in 7 minutes. Like, you don't know. Everyone's stove is different. Everyone's pot is a different size. Everyone has a different amount of water. So stop turning your stovetop down every time you feel like it's not happening fast enough. It's not a matter of if, you guys. So many of you are sitting around saying, if it happens. Well, if it happens. No, when it happens, decide. When it happens, I am going to XYZ. And then you turn your water on high and you do these things that I just told you guys about. I literally showed you exactly which buttons to click in your phone to do the things that I do. I've enrolled over 100 distributors this year, you guys, doing what I just showed you how to do on your phone. Turn your water on high. Do the basics of your business. We're not even asking you to do more than that. Like maybe follow up with your loyal customers. Maybe that's like an extra thing that you should be doing. But besides posting, which we're going to talk about next week, messaging, interacting, adding new people and following up, that's it. That's your whole business. Just do those things and do those things until you get the results that you want, and then keep going even after that, you guys, because it's one of the biggest mistakes of my business is getting to my goals and then stopping because I'm like, oh, I hit my goals, but I should have just stayed consistent. Okay, I think that's it. Any questions for me about basics, about, like I said, we're going to go over posting and content creation, all that grooviness next week. But I'm really just open for questions for just a minute. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys. I love preaching to you guys. I love training you guys. I missed you guys. It was like a lonely 10 weeks of the last bits of my pregnancy and having this baby. But that's, yes. Yep. Hold on tighter, you guys. Let this be your safety raft. Let this be the thing that keeps you afloat, and it will keep you afloat. I literally went from making $46 my very first paycheck to making over $8,000 in 1 month this year doing the things that I just showed y'all how to do. So just go out and stinking do it. And don't do it because of the paycheck that you're going to get next month. Don't do it because of the paycheck that you're going to get at Christmas time. Do it because of the paycheck you want in 5 years or in 10 years. Like literally have that long of a vision. And you will. You'll get where you want to go. So thank you guys so much for hopping on with me tonight. I will have this recording up as soon as I can. I love you all. Have a great night.